Yo, what's happening, people? It's your boy Griggs, and welcome back to Griggs Talks, where we talk all things sports. Welcome back to another video. I think it's been a minute, I'm not gonna lie. Hold on, let me change this real quick. Settings. Gotta start. There we go. But now, what's up, people? I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back. Obviously, like I said, it's been a minute. I haven't recorded in about a week. Busy with work. United have been pretty ass, so I haven't really wanted to stream a lot because not a lot to talk about. But obviously, it is still a January transfer window, and over the past couple of days, there's been a lot of news to talk about. So as you join in, make sure you like, share, subscribe. And we're gonna talk about a lot. Obviously, you can tell from the title. Garnacho is on the cusp of leaving. We finally got linked with the actual signing from a credible source, and David Ornstein, Romano, or a bunch of sources. And Marcus Rashford, will he stay or will he leave? It's up in the air. I think obviously David Ornstein mentioned that as well. There's still a little bit of debate about that. So yeah, let's talk about it. But I think first and foremost, I'm not going to talk about Sunday's game. It's been 48 hours since then. I think Amorim did all the talking for me when he broke the TV because that's my feelings about that game and how I feel. So I'm gonna just let him do it. Yeah, big up, bro. Yeah, I'm here. Obviously, shout out Hassan, A-listers. It was good to be back on that little platform. Haven't been on there for a minute, but talk about other clubs hype, right? I'll talk about Arsenal City, all that. Nah. Here to talk about United. And yeah, like I said, Sunday's game, I didn't do a match reaction because honestly, I thought it was pointless because it's the same shit every single week. It's just I don't like being repetitive. But yeah, like I said, Amorim did the talking for me. He broke his TV as he should have because I want to break my TV watching United. But since then, it looks like United are getting a little bit more active. And some sales might get us some business. And first sale, let's talk about it, is Alejandro Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho is linked with two clubs in Napoli and Chelsea. Will United get a bidding war is up for debate. We have to see if Chelsea will actually bid, but Napoli have put in a couple feeler bids out there, like 45, 50 M's. Maybe they'll go up to 55 next. I think United want 60 million pounds. And honestly, if 55 mil comes in, you take the money, you run, and you don't look back. You wish Garnacho the best of luck in the future. You wish him great luck. Obviously, he helped contribute to FA Cup victory, scoring that first goal. He had a lot of memorable times at United, the winner at Fulham, the bicycle kick, all that time. Great memories of Garnacho in the United jersey. But at the end of the day, it's a sale that is needed for the future of Manchester United. And it's crazy to say about that, about a kid, because he still is a kid and he's young and he theoretically maybe should be part of United's future. But let's be real. He doesn't really fit the system as of currently, in my opinion. I don't think he is really that kind of player to fit that 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3. And second of all, I think there's just better on the market. And what that 60 mil can offer you in terms of finances is extraordinary. And the people you could buy, we're going to talk about maybe a left wing back in the attacking, the options you could buy, whether you want to buy young developmental or you want to buy experienced ready now players. There's a lot you could do with that money. So I think United need to take that money and not think twice about it. And, maybe they get reunited down the line. But he's got, and also for him personally, it's just a good deal. You're going to a Scudetto contending team in Napoli. You're replacing Kvaratskhelia. You'll be not a main part, but you'll be one of the focal points in the attack. You'll be expected to play right away. You have expectations. You'll be competing. And if you go to Chelsea, obviously it's more of the same thing. Maybe not as guaranteed as a starter as he'd be at Napoli, because from Napoli's perspective, it's like they really want him. He's their number one target. Meanwhile, at Chelsea, obviously he's part of the options you're looking at. Just looking at Bino Gittins. I'm sure Chelsea are also looking at Matthias Cunha and Bomo, a bunch of players. So it's a little bit different. But did I watch any of the trip? Absolutely, I watched a lot. I watched the Monaco Villa game in the afternoon. Fantastic game of football. And then the afternoon, I watched Barcelona Benfica, which was arguably one of the most entertaining matches we'll see this year. I was not familiar with January Champions League football. Wow, it was a spectacle. My Greek boy Pavlidis scored a hat trick, which was amazing to watch. Shout out him. And then Benfica got robbed by Barcelona. Alvaro Fernandez hooped out. When a certain someone said Alvaro Fernandez should be getting major minutes for United last year, instead a certain club gave a loan deal to Sergio Reguilón, which was sensational business by United to now play their young left back. And now he's hooping out on Champions League nights against Barcelona of all teams. I can't pronounce his name, but Shelder up, whatever you pronounce it. He was hooping out. Fantastic. The ball carrier in the first half was fantastic, but Barcelona had a little bit more quality at the day. Pedri, sensational. One of the best midfield performances you'll see all season. What a player, bro. When I say Pedri's the best center mid in the world, I mean it. From the bottom of my heart, I think he's absolutely the best. Honestly, I could even argue the best midfielder on the planet. For what I like in a midfielder, I think Pedri exemplifies what I like in a midfielder. Good on the ball, passing, amazing, carrying the ball, the right passes every single time. Between the lines passing, the vision was sensational from Pedri. He was running that game in the second half. He was absolutely fantastic, and there's a reason why he's such a good talent, man. He's so good that people think he's from La Masia, but he's actually from Las Palmas. So shout out Las Palmas for creating that level of talent. Pedri's sensational, man. But yeah, those are good games. Back to United, unfortunately. United talking about United on Champions League nights is not going to be a common thing in the next few years, what it looks like, because we're 13th in the league. But yeah, Garnacho, man, I'm not sad to see him go. Obviously, 2 years ago, what I have been saying this from the way that he started, how electric he looked, no, but it feels like he's regressed. Part of it can be maybe overplayed. He constantly getting played week in and week out by Erik ten Hag, never really getting given a rest. Ego, in my opinion, I think plays a factor into it. Off the field issues, obviously his brother on Twitter. Not that really should be playing a big factor on the pitch, but it's gotten stale. Just not real development in his game style. Hasn't really improved that much. Maybe uses his weak foot a little bit more, but yeah, man. In my opinion, it's time for Garnacho to leave, and I think Napoli is a good opportunity for him. And then funny how Amorim is onto youth players who have actually done stuff for the club but show sentiment to trash like Dallo, who should be so well. What has Garnacho done more than Dallo? They've basically been starters for United around the same timetable. It's not too crazy. And also Garnacho offers us 60 mil on the market. Dallo does not offer me 60 mil on the market. If Dallo could leave, I would say yes, absolutely. But unfortunately, he has somewhat of a market, but no formidable offer has been made for him. But Dallo's another player I would like to see leave. I don't think he really suits the system either. And I think he's another asset that United should be looking to cash in on if an offer comes in, because in my opinion, I think at best in the system, he's a center back. But for example, Mazraoui for me is a better center back option than Dallo. So yeah. Apparently he wants to leave enough that he's agreed personal terms with Napoli. So that is some level that he wants to leave. Obviously, his agent was caught at the Chelsea game yesterday. Yeah, I don't think it's his first option to leave United, but if the club tell you that, we're looking to offload you when we kind of need the bread, you're kind of our most valuable asset in terms of what we really could get rid of and stuff like that. And Napoli came in on him. Antonio Conte apparently contacted him directly. They spoke over the phone or over the laptop, and I'm sure Conte convinced him of a plan, and he wants to leave. There's no wrong with that. A better club right now, and Napoli has come in and offered him a lifeline in a sense, and he should take it. I'm sure he's probably seen what Scott McTominay is achieving over there at Napoli. After McTominay left United, he's like, maybe this will be the right step in my career to get that move from Manchester United now. And there's no issue with that, right? I think a lot of players should be looking at United right now, should be looking like what is out there for us to be looking at that we can move on to, right? I'm sure Garnacho's not the only one that feels that way. I'm sure Kobe Mainoo's agents are probably doing some feelers out there. Sure, Hoyland's agents should be soon looking out for that. Cherki, obviously, he's been wanted, but obviously he wants to fight for his spot. So yeah, I don't think it's a guarantee that. I think Garnacho doesn't want to leave at some point, but yeah, man. If Amorim don't fix up by summer and we get worse, I take Brighton's manager. Hell fucking no. If for some reason Amorim gets sacked, I already know who I want. I already want Iraola. I want the Bournemouth manager. Other than that, but no, Amorim getting sacked talk is useless. First of all, the guy needs a transfer window before we even and a summer transfer window, not a January one, before we proper get into discussions. But yeah, obviously, I'm not gonna talk about too much about Amorim in this video in terms of tactics and stuff like that. Maybe I'll save that for a different video. But yeah, everything. Yeah, obviously, Garnacho and Napoli makes so much sense. In my opinion, it needs to happen, bro. It needs to happen. Hopefully, it happens soon because the window ends in 10 days and we need to make some signings. And if Garnacho leaves, we definitely need an attacker. Because Antony's out the door. Rashford is hopefully also out the door soon to Barcelona. We're moving on to better and greater things. Which leaves as our only attackers Cherki, Hoyland, and Ahmad. Because Bruno's not really an attacker. So very thin. And who United go get, I don't know yet. And in my opinion, I know who I want. I already put it out there. It came out from Romano, I think, that he has a certain release clause that can get met. Bro, INEOS, put Ryan Cherki in the bag for me. I need Ryan Cherki at this football club as soon as possible. When we talk about technicians, he's up there with the best of the best in modern football. They're hand on heart. I don't think you can name me a better technician than Ryan Cherki right now. The guy is amazing on the ball. He has every pass in his locker. Could shoot pretty well. Not the greatest ball striking, but he still has very good placement, very good finishing, passing, spectacular. Dribbling, you can't get the ball out of him. He's as strong as an ox. Not the quickest, but that's okay. With the ball at his feet, he's lightning quick. Yeah, he can't press, but pressing height. Yeah, pressing is obviously important, but when we have a jugador like this that exemplifies what Joga Bonito means, I don't give a shit about pressing. Bring now. I think he's someone that I would be looking at. Obviously, Mateus Cunha, but the price that Wolves want, no, thank you. Not in January. I think in terms of younger talents, maybe that are a little bit unproven, I look at Dortmund. I look at Jeremy Bino Gittins. I think the way that Amorim's kind of been using that left-sided player, I think he's definitely someone I'll be looking at. Desiree Doué, if PSG ever made him available, I think someone would be looking at. So yeah, obviously there's some options. But I think United, obviously left wing back is important, but we need to get an attacker. And if both Garnacho and Rashford leave, you must get an attacker. Why don't you try and get Durant? I think again expensive. I think he'd be too expensive. I think Durant's a sensational player. I think he's too expensive. And as of current, we do have 2 strikers. So while we do need a striker, and Osimhen would be fantastic. And obviously Cherki can maybe play the 10, but yeah, we need another outlet that can run in behind. If Garnacho and Rashford leave, that effectively leaves us with one outlet in Rasmus Højlund, and he's not good. So we need to inject some what's it called? Let me drink a sip of water real quick. We need some quick players. Obviously, Cherki's an exception because of how special he is. And the price that he's at, I think it's just too good to pass up. I'll be good with 2 wing backs. I will not be good with only 2 wing backs. Obviously, wing back is a huge issue, but we need attackers. And obviously, getting a wing back in opens up your attack, but you cannot sell 2 probably your best goal getters and not replace that. So yeah, we're seeing the. Honestly, if Garnacho doesn't end up going to Napoli, I think if United have opened up that good a relationship with Napoli, I think Osimhen might come to United in the summer. I think. Because honestly, I don't think I think obviously Gyökeres will be an option because of the relationship with Amorim. I personally think Osimhen's a better striker. And I think the opportunity for him, I think it's down to United or Chelsea. I think those are the 2 clubs that he'll be joining. One of the 2. So yeah, shout out Victor Osimhen, man. Even though he has missed a lot of big chances in the Europa League apparently, but just an amazing striker. Someone United should be looking at. And also the kind of guy that you can play Cherki with. Cherki can bounce off him in terms of playing wise, pause. But yeah, I think that's someone that United should be looking at. Obviously, January I think would have been better to get Osimhen because we may get him now and again outlet just what he can offer you in terms of pace, speed, the strength, all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, I don't think the United will be getting Osimhen in January. So I think the summer offers a good opportunity. And there was rumors that if United can kind of meet demands with Napoli, that they kind of get maybe a little bit of a first crack at Osimhen in the summer. But yeah, man, Garnacho and Napoli, obviously, right now it's kind of like at 75% mark. Personal terms are done, which is obviously great. But yeah, I think that'll be answered. But speaking of Serie A, we are linked with the Serie A player at left wing back, Patrick Dorgu of Lecce. Obviously, I haven't watched too much of him. I've heard good things about him. A lot of people on Twitter have been gassing him up for time and saying that they want him to be the guy to come in at left wing back. Obviously, I saw today someone play left wing back for Benfica or left back that was at United less than 18 months ago, who was available on a very cheap deal due to buyback clauses and sell-on clauses. But obviously, he hasn't really been linked with United. And I think Patrick Dorgu has been. Obviously, Kirkesh, who I think will be joining Liverpool. Who else has been linked with us at that position? Nuno Mendes, I think, signed a new contract with PSG, so he's off the table, thank God. Anthony Robinson, maybe, who knows? INEOS. So there's options there. It looks like Dorgu might be the one, though. It remains to be seen if Lecce will actually let him go because they're trying to stay in the Serie A. But yeah, man. I don't know if he's the perfect fit. Obviously, he's very versatile. He can play a lot of positions on the pitch, which is good. He's played a lot on the right hand side this year, but he could obviously he's left footed, so he could definitely play left wing back. And Amorim wants a left footed left wing back, and he looks decent. I don't know how good his creative numbers are. I'm not going to really judge him too much. He's very quick and he's very strong, which is obviously great. Physicality wise, he raises the ceiling for us, which is good. He's just a more natural attacking fullback than Dalo. So I think that would be a good signing. Obviously, let you around the 40 mil mark. That's a lot of money. If we can meet around the 30 mil, I'd be a lot happier personally. Osimhen is a bozo striker like Hoyland. Respect Victor Osimhen right fucking now, please. Thank you. Keep Garnacho away from my club. I'm already suffering from watching Noni and Neto. To be fair, I don't think Garnacho is joining Chelsea. It would be fun to get our get back for Mason Mount and stuff like that. But yeah, I think Napoli will get over the line. Also, I think United will be much more willing to sell to a Serie A club than a Premier League club. And I think if Chelsea were to actually proper come in, United would want a little bit more of a steeper price than maybe a Napoli would offer because of the Premier League tax. So yeah, I don't think it's happening. Speaking of Pedro Neto, I'll be discussing too with the Chelsea representatives about Pedro Neto. I have a little spot for Man United, bro, as a wing back option. There's something to be working with here. I think he would make a great fit in the Amorim system, personally. But that's for future stuff like that. But yeah, Patrick Dorgu is the link and stuff like that. How much do you think Osimhen will cost? I think he has a release clause in his new contract that he signed with Napoli that kind of made it easier for him to leave because he kind of got casted as a castaway in that team now. I think it's about 55, 60 mil, somewhere around there. So I think that's something that United, I think that's the price for him. He's definitely not costing 100 mil. And that's why I want Victor Osimhen. I think for the level of striker he is, that price is a bargain in today's market because you're seeing strikers like Ugarte could be quoted at 80 mil. Darwin Nunez went for 80 mil. Rashford went for 72 mil. Isak's going to go for like 200 mil probably if you went to Newcastle right now. Kai Havertz went for 65. So yeah, I think what you could get from Victor Osimhen for 60 mil and the kind of player you get for me would be sensational business for mentioning that. But yeah, Dorgu, I haven't watched enough of him and left wing back's a priority, but I just give me someone that's quick, strong, can attack, and has some brain in the final third. It's not that hard, bro. Honestly, it's really not that complicated. I'm more concerned about midfield, what's going to be the pivot, attack, the left 10, the striker situation. Goalkeeper might be coming an issue soon as well. It's right now, there's a lot of question marks. And honestly, the only certainty at United right now is that Alma's the right 10. Other than that, every position is up for fucking grabs right now. I'm going to be real, bro. Every other position is up for grabs. Because Lenny Euro hasn't really adjusted to Amorim system great yet. And because there's a lot of 1v1 wide defending to do. So, yeah, man, there's a lot of issues out there. A lot of issues out there. Cheaper than Brennan. Yeah, he is cheaper than Brennan John. Yeah, I think Osimhen would be a fantastic player still. But, yeah, man, I think Garnacho out, Dorgu in. If Garnacho leaves, I think two players can get bought in. I think Dorgu and an attacker would be solid. I think midfield will get addressed in the summer, especially because Casemiro didn't leave. It's not leaving in January. So I think once Casemiro and Eriksen leave in January, I think in the summer, I think more business will be done from that perspective. We need about 22 new players, but that's another discussion for another day. But yeah, I think it's weird, man. Honestly, I don't even fucking know. I'm so lost with United right now. It's like I'm not confused, but I'm out of touch. I'm lost. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to think. I watch the games with like reluctance because we're so bad, and tactically, it's so hard to do any analysis on it because Amorim said that he wants to play this one way. And he doesn't want to give that up. And then players are clearly not understanding the system yet. There's a reason why he broke the stupid TV. Players had a position and all that kind of stuff. You put in great performances at Anfield and Emirates, but then against Southampton and Brighton at home, you look like you look like the team that's actually 15th. It's just so concerning. There's a lot of issues from board to coach to ownership. I think for me, Amorim, I've been critical about him in terms of tactics. I think we need to make some tweaks. Me and staff have honestly argued about it lots in the past few days. I think we need to see some change because yes, the players are not good, but at the end of the day, as a coach, you're given the squad, you have to maximize it to the best of their ability. Meanwhile, maintaining your principles. That is why you came in as a coach. So just coach a little bit better in a sense. I think build up, we could change a lot in the build up. I think stop inverting the stupid midfield, center back into midfield. Build to the 3, build better in the 3. Don't push the wing. Don't have the wing backs be as deep. Try to push them up the pitch a little bit more. Did I actually? Let me check real quick. Shout out Abdi Haas, man. Oh wow. 27 mil plus add-ons. I enough to convince Lecce. 40 mil. Interesting. Big up Sam for the raid. Big up. Well, make sure you guys subscribe as you join in here if you haven't subscribed already. I'm sure some of you haven't already been subscribed, but yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe as you join in. We're talking about well, now there's new news with Dorgu been rejected. Shame, but obviously I think Romano said more talks. We put about 27. The Lecce's 20 wanted 40. I think United will settle about the 32, 33 mil range. I think we'll get business on there, especially once Garnacho goes through that door at Napoli. Rashford, once he leaves to Barcelona, I think that's going to be another deal which we'll talk about soon. So yeah, but yeah, another other business I got done. Antony has left my football club for the short-term future, hopefully permanent. He joined Real Betis on loan. No option, of course, because who the fuck wants that guy permanently? But that's good though. I don't have to see him. That's great. That's the one good thing. I don't have to see Antony for the next 3 to 4 months. God, praise the Lord. And if Sunday was the last time I ever saw Antony in a United jersey, God bless the Lord, bro. One of the worst signings in Premier League history, if not the worst signing in Premier League history. In my opinion, the worst signing in Manchester United history. Such an overpay of funds. It's absolutely hideous. But wish him the best at Betis. Hopefully he plays good so we could get more value for him in the summer. Because if United can get 20 mil for Antony, I'll be happy and call it a day that we took a huge loss, whatever. But yeah, other business, not really, other than obviously Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford deal is kind of down to one club. It's down to Barcelona. That's the club he wants to join. And apparently, obviously, Barca have to get rid of a couple players to meet FFP to get Rashford in. I think Eric Garcia is on his way to Como, and then the other stumbling block is Ansu Fati. Apparently, Eric Garcia might just be enough to get Marcus Rashford in. Me personally, obviously, for most of you that are in here that usually watch me, you know how big of a Marcus Rashford fan I am. I've talked about the situation plenty of times before. A little bit of positive PR in the past 48 hours in terms of he's training with the main team. He has no issues with Amorim, all that kind of stuff, which I've always said I think the decision is coming from above. But I think if he doesn't join Barcelona in the next 2 to 3 days, I think he's just staying, and then he'll be reintegrated into the squad once the window closes. For his sake, I hope he gets that move to Barcelona and he finds his level of football. I think going to a club like Barca, I've seen what he could do to players that have been kind of banished from the big club. We saw what happened with Aubameyang, right? Aubameyang basically got banished from Arsenal. He went to Barcelona. He found his love again. Went to Chelsea and obviously ended up on Marseille. We had a good year, and I think now he's in the Saudi League. I think for Rashford, I think going to Barcelona, experiencing the feeling that it is to play with Barcelona, going to a coach like Hansi Flick, who has shown what he could do for wingers that are kind of on the decline in terms of maybe mentality, feelings, and stuff like that. We saw Rafinha, bro. Rafinha's moving like Pac right now. He's hooping out at Barcelona. And I'm not saying Rashford's going to do exactly what Rafinha is doing, but just to have that kind of coach in your ear, playing with a guy like Lewandowski, that veteran presence, which, let's be real, Rashford hasn't had a veteran presence next to Man United since Cristiano Ronaldo, and I don't think they ever got the best of a long, or when he lost Cavani, Rashford has talked about Cavani being a good influence on him in terms of movement and stuff like that. Going to play with Lewa, Yamal, obviously having that kind of wonder kid next to you, and stuff like that, I think it will be a great opportunity for him. And then Barcelona, the city, beautiful living over there. So I think for him that would be a great opportunity. And then for United, honestly, it's time for Marcus Rashford to leave Manchester United. It should never have come to that. Obviously, a decade It's been a decade. He should have been a lifer at Manchester United. The reason he won't is because of him and the club itself. I think both are at fault. He put his body on the line for the club. He broke his back for the club to play and stuff like that. But obviously he's had off the field issues the past couple of years. Mentally, I think he's been checked out of United for a minute. I think the club broke him and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I think Barca would be the great move for him. Obviously, Milan was also an option, but let's be real. Once his agent got word that Barcelona was interested, it was always just going to be Barca. It's Barcelona at the end of the day. It's Spo. Yeah. How many years until Yamal wins the Ballon d'Or? Do you think he will get it before? I do think Lamine Yamal wins the Ballon d'Or before Vini Jr. Only because if Madrid win big things, I think Mbappe's going to be the star. And Vini obviously finished second in the Ballon d'Or, stuff like that. But let's be real. I think last year, I'm not saying Vini's never going to win a Ballon d'Or, but I think last year maybe was as good as a shot as Vini had to win the Ballon d'Or because he had no superstar attacker next to him. Now you got Kylian Mbappe. And whether people want to rate Mbappe or not, Mbappe's the biggest star. He's the bigger name. He's also the better player, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's how it goes. And Lamine Yamal is special, generational talent, one of the best teenager I've seen since Neymar. Yeah, wonderful talent, bro. Rashford, Barcelona stocks for Greek stocks is sensational. Rashford, Yamal, Pedri, I'm there no matter what. So yeah, as for Rashford, I want to see him leave. If he comes back into the squad, obviously, I'm welcoming him back with open arms. But with the fan base, it's over. It's been over. So there's no reason for him to come back. I don't need that cloud over United. In the sense as well. And I think for Amorim, it would be best if Rashford left so he doesn't get asked every single freaking match day about Marcus Rashford. So for me, it's best if they part ways, and the sooner the better. Hopefully he performs at Barca and they buy him. So yeah. I'm trying to think. So I think those are kind of like the transfer news. In terms of United, what's coming up, what can change in the season, because obviously the season's over in terms of the Premier League. We're going to finish between like 11th and 15th. We're finished somewhere in that range. Personally, squad-wise, obviously we're shit, but I need to see some level of tactical involvement from Ruben Amorim. Like, I'm going to be real. I think he's a great coach. We saw what he could do in the big games against the Arsenal and Liverpools and the cities of the world. Fantastic game planning. But I always say this. If you can game plan against the big teams, that's great. It's good for momentum wins and stuff like that. It's good to build a culture and stuff like that. That's fantastic. But at the end of the day, you only play the big six 10 times a year. You have 28 more matches. What do you do in the other 28 matches? And so far, tactically, I haven't seen that too much greatness in those kind of matches. Southampton played a very similar formation to us on Thursday. We got bopped. We got pressed to death. We couldn't do anything. Against Brighton, we looked really good in the first half. I thought we should have probably been up in the first half. But then it all fell apart in the second half. And part of it was because Amorim didn't adjust. So Amorim gets given a pass, right, for this in terms of the year. There's a reason why he wanted to join in the summer when it was he could join in, get a lot of training time before he actually has to coach a competitive game and stuff like that. Summer window, all that kind of stuff. Doesn't have to come in mid-season and have the pressure from the fans, because let's be real now. If he came in the summer, it's a kind of a fresh face. We just came off our worst season. We have that kind of hope. But with him coming in mid-season, he was always going to get a lot of bad results. And when you get a lot of bad results, the fans are always going to start, the red flags are going to start going up in the fans' heads no matter what. Even if we all know it's not his fault, fans will start looking at him sideways, because at the end of the day, at Manchester United, you get criticized for every failure. No matter what the context is, no matter what the circumstances are, at Man United, if you fail, you get criticized, no matter what. And right now, he's getting criticized. And I think, for me, rightfully so in some aspects in terms of tactically, like I mentioned. We look inferior in a lot of games. I guess, again, we don't have the best of squads. But, for example, against Southampton, to be looking that inferior for 65 minutes is not just a player issue. It is also a coaching issue. We only got through that day because Amad Diallo is an amazing player. But Amad Diallo is not always going to be there to save us. For example, Sunday against Brighton. How are we playing 5 at the back and we're still conceding 3 goals? Or we're creating that many goal scoring opportunities we're conceding that many goal scoring opportunities. That there's an issue there. And I think he needs to go into the lab and switch things up a little bit, tweak it. Like I said, he's also the same guy that said formation doesn't matter, principles do. So tweak the formation a little bit. I'm not asking for wholesome changes, but change a couple things up. And coach, you're the coach. Last time I checked, when a coach comes into the club, the responsibility is to improve what you got and improve on your predecessor. There's a reason why your predecessor got sacked, because he wasn't good enough. So you're coming in to improve, and you're going to get signings eventually. But right now, you also got to work with what you got. That's how it goes. For example, if you're the leader of a team project at work, right? But the guys that are working maybe under you, the ones that you assign stuff to, are useless. As the leader, if you fail, you're going to get criticized from your boss. Is that not how it goes? He's going to get criticized. It's how it goes. And he has to improve. He's not the perfect coach. Like I mentioned, he's not a messiah. He's not a messiah. He's not a Pep. He's not a Klopp. He's not a Fergie. And even obviously Fergie went through his struggles. He just needs to adapt. Because I listen to Amorim very closely the way he speaks. Because he's a very intellectual speaker. There's a reason why Ronaldo called him the poet and stuff like that. He speaks very wisely. That last Sporting game against Manchester City, when they asked him after the job, is the way that you play today something that United fans should be looking forward to? And he said no. He said, at United, it's different. The expectation is different. The level you have to play at is different. You have to be more on the ball and stuff like that. So I must adapt. I must grow as a coach. Where's that Amorim? That's the Amorim I need. The one that wants to adapt. I love adapt. I think adaptability as a manager gets you very far in places. Especially at the top level. You need to adapt. He's shown that he can adapt in big games. But like I mentioned, it's not the big games. And to his credit, he said, the smaller games, we'll see what we're really about. And we're going to struggle a little bit. So he warned us in a sense. But it's all great warning me and stuff. I still want to see adaptability. I want to see a little bit of a change. I want to see that you're learning from your mistakes. This is what I want to see from Amorim over the next 4 to 5 months. I want to see him learn from his mistakes. So when the next season starts, I have more hope. I have something I can work with. Because I don't expect Amorim to win anything. We are clearly shit. Maybe in Europa we can compete with a little bit something because it's one game, stuff like that, two-legged ties, stuff like that. It's a little bit more different in terms of game planning. You're game planning for a specific opponent. You're game planning to not lose over 2 legs and to advance. In the Premier League, it's about performance, consistency, all that kind of stuff. So that's where I'm really gonna focus on the coaching. Because I don't want another cup manager. I want someone that can coach in the stupid goddamn Premier League. Because Ten Hag clearly showed in the cups, he's got something about him. But when it comes to coaching over a 38-game season, there's no consistency. That is why he got sacked. So from Amorim, I want to see adaptability in that sense. And I expect him to do that. Because I hold a very high opinion of him. Do you think you can get Cunha from Wolves? I think we can, but I'm gonna be real. We're 13th. We're not very high in the queue. They should feel embarrassed because he had every right to lash out at them. They should be embarrassed because on the pitch they're serving up a pile of dross. And the intensity is not the same as the one that I'm seeing against Liverpool and Arsenal. And that is my question I have on the players. And this is why I abandoned the coach. You showed up for the big games because you have the emotion and stuff like that. But every game is a big game at Manchester United. Especially when you're 15th or 13th, whatever the hell we are. Every game should be important. Every game should be treated like a cup final. Because right now, you are the worst Manchester United in the modern day. You should be treating every game like it's a life or death game. That's what they should be treating every game. But those first 10 minutes I saw against Southampton, I saw a team that can't be asked. There I have an issue. Who do you think you are right now? You're not first place Manchester United where you can coast during games and still get away with it. No. You're 15th, because at that time you're 15th place Man United. Act like you want to improve. Act like you want to get better. act like you want to actually belong at the top. Because all I see is a bunch of pussies. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna straight up say it. I see a bunch of soft people. That's all I see when I see United. I see softness all over. I don't see dog. I see softness. I see mentality midgets. That's what I see. That Ericsson passed to Ahmad in the sensational pass, bro. Sensational pass. The mental mistakes I see. Onana basically threw the Super Bowl in the freaking net. The game was 2-1. Were we gonna get anything? Probably not, but you still had hope. You still have plenty of time to get something back. And my goalkeeper just threw the Super Bowl in the back of the net himself. Mentality midgets. That is what Manchester United players are right now. Mentality midgets. When it's time to really rise, where they at? It's great. It's great playing spoiler. You spoiled Liverpool. You spoiled Arsenal's FA Cup. Congratulations. You spoiled Pep. You won that FA Cup. Yeah. Where's my consistency, though? We're shit. We're shit. I'm honestly, bro. United are up there right now for some of the worst sporting sides I've ever supported in terms of a single season. Because obviously I've seen some bad teams in my lifetime, but those teams were expected to be absolute dog shit. Well, I expected a top 5 worst team. I never, in my wildest dreams, I never expected Manchester United to be around 14, 15 places in the Premier League. Never. It's a disgrace. But I can't say it's deserved. I can't say it's undeserved. United deserves to be where they are right now. The table last year told me we were 15th on expected points. We finished 8th. Well, apparently the expected points gods have struck back, and we're now 13th. Somehow we're not the worst Big Six team this year. Spurs are, but it's an absolute embarrassment from all involved, from the coaching to the ownership to the board, and the board. I have major criticism, because I can talk and harp on about the coach. I can harp on about how bad the players are, but at the end of the day, in the summer, you had an opportunity to get rid of a coach that just, at that time, had the worst finish in Manchester United Premier League history. You had the opportunity to cut him loose and get a fresh start. Your first summer in the job. Go get the coach you want. Instead, what do? You keep the guy. So you keep the guy. Okay. But the moment that you keep the guy, from my perspective, it was always this. Anything that goes wrong, I'm not going to blame Erik ten Hag, because he was a dead man walking for 8 months, but you extended his life on Manchester United. It's on you. The blood is on your hands, lying in your deathbed. And lo and behold, we started out the season like absolute piss. And what do? They sacked him. And then they went and got the guy that they wanted. Well, the same guy was available in the summer. So you wanted him that bad in November. Did you not want him that bad in July or June? And there lies this is my biggest issue in INEOS. We're now, today is January 21st. It's 8:22 p.m. So basically, let's call it a spade. It's January 2022. It's January 22nd. The window closes in 9 days. As of this current moment, there are 0 incomings. We are 13th in the Premier League table. Where are my fucking signings? Where are they? I understand we need to sell players, but why weren't you more aggressive? When you talk about all about the ruthlessness of Jim Ratcliffe and cutting Gary the janitor, Lisa the cook. Today we're cutting salaries of legends. You stop paying Sir Alex Ferguson. Yippity fucking yippity you. I don't care about that. You kept the coach that it was more expensive to keep him than sack him, and then you ended up sacking him because he was that bad. When anyone with 2 working eyes could have told you that it was never going to work out. Sick. You spent 6 months of my lifetime having to see links with the sporting director and finding every single little detail about a sporting director that I don't give a shit about. You sacked him within 4 months, and you made him the fall guy for what happened with Ten Hag. Fair enough. Maybe it was his fault. All signs point to an ownership group that walked into a very messy situation where risks really were not the priority at the moment. It was more about stabilizing the ship. And if anything, the ship is not stabilized. It's even more crooked. It's more off deck than it's ever been before. It's tipping over. The captain cannot steer it no more. So I look at INEOS and I ask them a simple question. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to fix this? Because let's be real. They're the last hope for Manchester United. Because we all know that Glazers were ass, and they're about 98% of the reason why we've been so ass the past decade. So in comes this new ownership group that makes the promises. Sir Jim put the Manchester back in Manchester United. All I'm seeing is a bunch of Mancs getting fired from their job. All I'm seeing is probably our two most valuable academy assets, low-key both be on the block. Only one of them is leaving, obviously, Garnacho, but Mainoo got shopped around a little bit. McTominay's gone, obviously. Marcus Rashford is leaving. Manchester United barely get one academy player into their squad at this given moment. The ethos of United is getting ripped apart in multiple ways. It's a huge mess at the moment. It's a huge mess. And obviously, my fellow brother in arms, Staffy, wants to talk about this hypothetical storm and all this and stuff like that. Well, he is right. There is a storm on United. There's a major storm at United. It's a major storm. Oh, big up Saeed for the raid. I didn't even know Saeed was live. Shout out my boy Saeed, bro. Big up the people. If you're joining in right now, obviously, make sure you like, share, you subscribe. Big up the boy. And we're talking about INEOS right now. I'm sure that was a popular topic on Saeed's as well. Grig's hype, I can automatically tell that either Omar or what's it called? Or what's his name? Staffy mentioned that. But yeah, man. I think with United, it's just so many issues that I'm looking at. And it's so much to work about. Griggs, bro, Dorgu is going to be our right wing back. I don't get why people are saying he's a left wing back. He's played obviously he's played a majority of games on the right at Lecce. So was it Omar? Was it that Fraudowski? Shout out my boy though. But yeah, I think he could play right wing. That's the good thing about Dorgu, versatile. So you can get him at right wing back, and you could also get a left wing back that you want, whether it's the Kirkers, the Ainuri, the Robinson, whoever you want to go sign, right? Alvaro, if you want to actually go get him. That's the good thing about Dorgu, just versatile. Yeah, I can tell. Only two people on this planet say Griggs hype. It's Staffy, and it's Omar. Didn't Fab just say Dorgu? No. He said more contacts will happen, but the official form of Big Guy, the first official form of Big Guy rejected. But yeah, back to INEOS though, because INEOS out. You know what, man? Soon enough, I might have to join side in the car park. Soon enough, I might just have to join side in the car park. Because it's been very, very poor from them. Honestly, if I had to give them an early grade on how they've been at Manchester United, it's honestly like a D. Because when you look at the summer window we had, right? Obviously, Vini Jr is the kind of prospect that you thought you can't miss. Because if you don't get him now, he's going to Madrid. You're probably never going to see him, right? Although he's much older and not as valuable. Yeah, like up. I don't have any of none of my mods are in here right now. They're all either sleeping because they're all in Europe. So someone just keep me updated on the likes. But yeah, man, I think right now for me, it's like a D because I'm looking in the summer. I thought from the beginning, the summer was very mediocre. In terms of the outgoings, we didn't really get rid of many people. And then I look at the incomings. Obviously, Vini Jr was maybe a little bit different. But I looked at, for example, Cherki. Apparently, it was an Ashworth-led Betis signing and stuff like that. And yeah, the idea of Cherki is good, but there's a reason why I wanted Dom Solanke, for example. Because Cherki was a risk. It's a very, very big risk because he had the breakout season at Bologna, but you saw that from the time at Bayern, you saw the time from Anderlecht that there was major concerns about Cherki and whether his game will translate to the Premier League. And I think United this summer should have taken the approach of get ready-made guys that are ready to contribute in the Premier League that are kind of a little bit lower of a risk and maybe a little bit higher reward. I think Matheus Cunha in the summer should have been maybe looked at more in depth. I think his price probably would have been a little cheaper too. The Ainoris, all the guys that United linked with now, they were available in the summer. Why didn't we go for them then? And at the point that United, the current state of United, I think you just need to stabilize. Like I mentioned, stabilize the ship. Just stabilize the ship. Fuck, over my dead body, we're gonna do something. On my life, he's not better than Joshua Xerxes, bro. Keep it up, bro. Solanke hasn't been that guy for. His wingers are shit. Get him to United, he'd be cooking, bro. Imagine Solanke with Alma. The pressing, sensational. But yeah, man, I just think we need to do better. Ugarte in the summer, yes, Ugarte's been a little better than I expected him to be. But again, 60 mil on a guy that has heavy limitations on the ball. How do you recommend spending 60 mil on a midfielder that has limitations on the ball in big 2025? I mentioned this time and time again. 2 years ago, Erik Ten Hag's first season, we had a pivot that worked. Eriksen and Casemiro. It was quite evident that Eriksen was probably the first upgrade in terms of that midfield, and go get someone that's a similar profile to Eriksen, a little bit younger, more mobile. What would United's answer? Mason Mount. And now Ugarte. Those are the last two midfielders I signed. Oh, and let me not forget Sophia and Amrabat on loan. None of those guys can even replicate 10% of what Eriksen can give me. And that's why I have United fans acting like Eriksen's prime Cesc Fabregas and saying we can't find that midfielder on the market. That's the best midfielder on the planet. No, it's not. For example, Douglas Luiz. Is he perfect? No. But he can pass. He can run. He's a good age. I'm not talking about Eriksen from Spurs. I'm talking about modern-day Manchester United, a guy that can pass the football and can run a little bit better. And I'm not asking for someone to be the level of passer that Eriksen is. Yes, I agree. Eriksen is a sensational passer, master technician, but someone that's close to it, that can at least give me 65 to 70% of what Eriksen can on the ball, but can also run. Mason Mount can run for days. Sensational presser. But what can he offer me on the ball? Little to nothing. Ugarte, again, legs for days. But on the ball, 0% of what Eriksen can offer me. Yuri Tielemans, a good example. So, actually, a very similar profile to Eriksen. A little bit younger, just maybe 10% more mobility. And just more accustomed to playing the deeper role because he's played the deeper role for much longer than Eriksen has, right? Eriksen was always a 10, but he obviously had to drop deeper as he got older, and obviously the incident that he had. And I was wrong. And you know, with Tielemans, I said I didn't want him at United. I was wrong. I'll hold my hand up. That's a hashtag my bad. Shout out to Specs Gonzalez. That was my bad. Another example, obviously, don't get him now because physically I don't think he meets the demands. But Angel Gomez, maybe a year ago, would have been perfect. So, yeah, man, I think, obviously, I think United have a lot of issues all over the place. Wingbacks, strikers, forwards, defenders. My biggest concern long-term is going to be the midfield. That's my biggest concern long-term. I look at this midfield, the midfield pivot part. I don't like the midfield pivot. First of all, Mainoo Ugarte, not the answer. On 100%, not the answer. Not the answer. They do not complement each other at all because Mainoo's weakness is his passing. He does not have long-range passing downloaded in his floating football package yet. Ugarte has very little to zero passing ability. So you're playing in a midfield pivot with two players that really are not supreme pass, not supreme, just really good passers. Where's the ball progression going to come from? Your center back can only do so much progressing. The center back, unless you're center back, obviously maybe you have like a Leacher and Luke Shaw in there that can help with the progression. But at the end of the day, it's not crazy. Your midfield's got to be able to do a lot in the midfield pivot. It's a two-man. And when I look at successful teams with only two midfielders, in terms of on the central part, I look at the successful teams. Okay, look at the Leicester team, right? That won the league. N'Golo Kante. Look at that Chelsea team because a very similar formation, 3-4-3 with Antonio Conte. You have Fabregas and Conte. You have Matic and Conte. Matic and Fabregas, sensational passers. And you even had a central center back of David Luiz as a libero. I agree. I think Nicola Barella would be a fantastic signing in the system. I think he'd be the perfect fit. I think Barella would be the perfect fit. But again, the odds of us getting him, slim to none, right? I think Bruno G is another player. So maybe in a sense, people are right in terms of it's going to cost a lot of money to get this perfect midfielder pivot, but you need to get. And yes, our midfield's not dominant. They're very short. I think both, obviously, Ugarte is 6 foot, but he don't look 6 foot to me. He looks 5'10". Baleba, who actually might be 5'10". He looks like someone potentially, but again, 100 mil. So the scouts, this is where I ask the scouts and stuff like that. What do they got cooking for me? Where can they find this gem? Tonali, in the sense of passing is, I still think Tonali. People still have this presumption that Tonali's like Pirlo. He's more Gattuso. I think Tonali is closer to Ugarte than like maybe something like a Mainoo or something like that of the passing. At the end of the day, yeah, honestly, probably, bro. And obviously the money and something like that. I mean, if you go to guys that are playing for like lower tier clubs in other leagues, the money is gonna be a great. Even if it's like only 100K a week, most of them are going from like 20K a week. So that jump in money is still huge. But yeah, United got to find ways in the market. We gotta be clever in the market. We gotta be clever. We gotta be opportunistic. We need to be like Randy Orton, just slithering in there and waiting the perfect time, in a sense, to strike with an RKO, right? You gotta wait for your perfect opportunity to strike. At this current day and stage, United cannot take risks in the market. We cannot do high risks. I can tell you us out there as well. Mobility is a little concerning, but you cannot take risks like that. You cannot do risks like Mainoo Ugarte for 60 mil. There's too many limitations to his game. You need to go with guys that have very few limitations to his game, and you can improve them. Lenny Euro was a good start. Obviously, maybe a little expensive, but obviously, I mentioned the circumstances around Lenny Euro. Mazraoui, for example, was a solid signing. Obviously, and if we still had a forward the back manager, I think Mazraoui would be looking much better. I don't think he's a wing back. I think he's a right center back, and that's it. Or left center back. Either the right center back roles. I think that's about it. But look at De Ligt. With how many center backs you could get out there. I think, for example, certain positions you just gotta go for ready-made guys that are ready to contribute now. I look at, for example, striker, you need to go get Victor Osimhen. For me, that's the number one priority in terms of who you want as your striker. I think Victor Osimhen is the guy you need to go get. About to hit his prime, great goal scorer, great athlete, tall, strong, quick. Anything you need. And then certain positions, maybe like for Mateus Cunha, again, example, perfect fit. And then obviously maybe at left 10, you can maybe go a little bit creative and go outside the box and go get maybe a guy that you think is going to be amazing development-wise. Like, for example, I mentioned earlier when 99% of you guys weren't here, I mentioned someone like Ryan Cherki. I think if there's a risk, that's the kind of risk you need to take. It's similar to Lenny Euro. Because the ceiling of Ryan Cherki is, if someone can get the best out of Ryan Cherki, brother, you're in luck for special talent. But I think when I look at it, because look at it, we're gonna lose Rashford, right? Look how young our attack is. It's Xerxes who's barely he's like 23, 24. Rasmus Højlund is definitely still a kid. Alman's still a kid. Oh, I show some respect for ballers, man. I swear. See, I'm sick and tired of United fans. Honestly, what a terrible fan base we are, bro. Honestly, bro. He's like he don't press. Brother, we can't create a shot on target, and you talk to me about pressing. We're barely cracking. We might not even crack 50 league goals this season. And you're talking to me about pressing? He's lazy, man. He don't press. I don't care. With the ball at his feet is Ben Arfa. And you can't get the ball off him. Pressing. Yeah, You have a point there, AGI. This fan base probably will run because this fan base hates ballers. You are right. This fan base is unacceptable towards ballers. They need to run. Well, let me say something to Amorim right here and right now. You are at Manchester United Football Club. You're gonna need ballers. You're gonna need solutions. You have a system where attacking needs a lot of creative solutions. And this is no longer the Portuguese league where you can get away with certain attacking solutions that you had in the Portuguese league, which is basically Victor Gyökeres, go Burr. Because center backs are too clever in the Premier League. So you need to find different solutions. One of the solutions is signing one of the better creative players on the planet in Ryan Cherki and forgetting about the pressing. Again, adjust to the players. If we, let's say, for example, we do get Ryan Cherki in, Amorim is going to have to adjust the system to fit him in. And that's fine. Cherki's 100 times the technician that Xerxes is. What's it called? Cherki's a better dribbler. Cherki's a better passer. Cherki's a better shooter. He's stronger on the ball as well. He doesn't press. It's because he's North African, bro. Honestly, he has a North African tax. Exactly. Against low blocks. And this is why I talk about the Amorim quote, where he's like, United are going to have to be more dominant. Against a low block, there might not be a better player on the planet than Ryan Cherki. You need solutions. Against the big teams, yes, you don't have to play Ryan Cherki. Class, you could go play you could go do Ahmad and a Roadrunner at left wing, and you could play Dorgu in the left hand for like here. And press and hit him on the counter. But against low blocks, where you need someone to carry the ball, you need someone to be the pickpocket, the locksmith, unlock the key. Break that lock. There are not better options on the planet than Ryan Cherki. You guys didn't want Roadrunners and Garnacho and Rashford. Now you don't want creative geniuses like Cherki. What do you want? Juan Mata would be perfect right now in the system. Juan Mata is perfect. This is the thing about the Amorim system. This is a system for wing fielders. Since most of you are on Saeeds, you know how much I love using the term on that channel. Wing fielders. Stylistically, Cunha can be a better fit. Cherki's better than Mbomo, in my opinion, but that's not the case. And also, Mbomo's a right-sided player. I guess Cunha would be a better option. Yes, I think current stylistically and stuff like that in terms of physicality offer. But let's not forget, Cunha's 80 mil, Cherki's 20. Cunha for sure is not $60 million or 60 million pounds, whatever currency you want to use. Better than Chelsea, better than Cherki. He's just not. We need guys that have that when the light bulb goes tick. Cunha could be a Rashford replacement. He could be a Garnacho. But Cherki, you know who Cherki can replace? The guy that a lot of people want out. Bruno Fernandes. A lot of people want Bruno Fernandes out. Let me tell you something. If Bruno Fernandes leaves, United, whether people like it or not, need to, especially in this system, need to go sign someone that's creatively really, really good. That's really creatively really good. I think Cherki would be a perfect Bruno replacement. I'm not asking Cherki to replace Rashford. I'm not asking Cherki to replace Garnacho. Maybe someone like Bruno. I think long term that'd be fantastic. Like you mentioned. Words, please. Who do you think we are? Who honestly, this is why I tell United fans, reality check. Get out of La La Land. La La Land is not, get out of your dreams, bro. Leave your dreams. Dreams are dreams for a reason. They're not meant to happen most of the time. Dreams get crushed. I'll be the one to crush your dreams. There's negative 55% chance that Florian Wirtz ever joins Manchester United. He plays for one of the top teams in Europe and Bayer Leverkusen. We cannot get him. We are 13th in the Premier League. Next season, we're not going to finish top 4 either. Let me spoil next season for you. We're not getting top 4 next year either. We're not going to be in the Champions League probably for the next 2 years unless we somehow win the Europa League. No, we will not be back next season with 4 to 5 players. We're not that good. The guy has Real Madrid after him. He has Barcelona after him. He has Manchester City after him as Kevin De Bruyne heir. Then he's going to come to Manchester United. Get a grip, bro. It's not happening. It's just not happening. Or Bayern Munich, as every German player goes. We gotta be realistic. This is what happened when we talk about Kvaratskhelia. It's not happening. There's a reason why he went to PSG. They're more attractive. We need to go get the gems. We need to go get the gems. Yes, they can, but we don't have the money to get those 4 to 5 players. We're broke. We're sell to buy. We're auctioning every single thing basically at Old Trafford at this current moment, bro. We're gonna start being Barcelona, so the levers are gonna have to start getting pulled. Oh, we're just not at the level. Reality check. Amorim actually said it best. United are a big club by name, but they're not a big club by the foot on the football pitch no more. We do not represent a big football club on the pitch in terms of what we do. We don't. The ball to feet work would be sensational. If we sell well, yes, sure. Garnacho sale helps. A Rashford permanent sale would help. Absolutely. But it has to happen first. And also, we have no Champions League football to use to recruit. Hell, we're not going to have European football to use to recruit. So we just have to be realistic, guys. We just have to be realistic. Hell, the ownership don't expect to compete anytime soon. They said 2028. We're in 2025. We're a very long time away. Very, very long time away, guys. Very, very, very long. So, yeah, man. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. Rohan, because you've been here the longest. You've been here since the beginning of the stream. Can you let me know how many likes we're at? Or I can honestly just go check. There's 342 of you here. We're only at 52 likes. That is pretty poor. I'm not going to lie. I would like to end the video at 75. So, someone smash the like button, please. I believe signing these forward players is crazy. Our midfield won't get the ball to. That's a good point. I agree with this. I think the midfield is a huge concern as well. I don't like the midfield pivot of Kobe Mainoo. And every time I say United Dream 11 for next year that has Kobe Mainoo and Ugarte in the pivot, I want to throw up. It's not a good pivot. It's generally not. Yes, it looks good in the big games. We defended a 5-4-1. It's meant to look good. But I saw them against Southampton, and I saw them against Brighton. They got run ragged. They got absolutely run ragged. We have officially ended all ties with the Dutch league ever since Erik ten Hag left. We have an embargo with that league. There is no association with that league anymore. We do not associate. No. I would still prefer Gyökeres over Osimhen. I prefer Osimhen personally. See, now that's a rare player. That's a 100 mil player. That's very, very rare. Do you think 3-4-3 will? All right, so I love the 3-4-3 formation. It's one of my favorite formations in football when utilized correctly. It has to be generally be utilized correctly. You need a lot of specialists. You need guys that really buy into the system. You need a coach that can actually coach the system. And obviously, Amorim can coach it because it's basically the only formation he really uses. But the thing about the 3-4-3 is that you kind of dictate the way that it plays. Because it can either be a 3-4-3 or it can be a 5-4-1 where you're just very defensive. Or a 5-2-3 in a way. Actually, 5-2-3 makes more sense. And United at times, and actually most of the time, it's been a 5-2-3. We've been very defensive. Our wingbacks have always been pushed back and have never really gotten the freedom to attack. The only one that really gets the freedom to attack and gets put into space a lot of the times to do something is Diogo Dalot, and he does absolutely nothing with it because he has zero final third IQ. And Ahmad at times when he gets there, obviously because he's so intelligent, he'll make the final run and we'll get something out of it. But we definitely need wingbacks. That is for absolute certain. And in my opinion, for this system to work long term, one of the wingbacks is going to have to be an actual winger. And listen to me here. Let me land. This is where this summer I have a proposal to make the Chelsea Football Club. I think Pedro Neto can be a legit option for right wing back. I think the guy is a wing back. I think he perfectly fits what a wing back should be. 2-footed, which is good. Really good passer. Can dribble and carry. I think that's someone I'd be looking at. Whether we can get him, probably not going to happen, but that's someone as a wing back I would be looking at in terms of a winger. Because let's be real, a lot of wing backs are usually failed wingers. Neto right now, the way he's playing at Chelsea, looks like a failed winger. So that's definitely someone I'll be looking at. Theoretically. But I do think the wingback. One of them has to be a winger, and the other one can be more of your traditional fullback, but he needs to be an attacking fullback. Attacking fullback. That's why that's why the Dorgu links are nice. Alvaro Fernandez, for example, is another one. The issue is, though, whatever side that you have the failed winger, aka wingback, you're gonna have to go get a center back. That's a 1v1 demon in terms of defending the wide channels, and there's not many. You're gonna need a Cornate level center back out there. And no disrespect to Vini Jr, I don't think he'll ever be that guy. I think Vini Jr's long term is essential center back. Especially, it actually needs to happen now because his reading of the game at wide center back is just not good enough. Maybe experience helps it, but I'm a little bit concerned personally. I also think he has the physical attributes to be central center back. I think he has the ball playing ability to be a central center back. I think that'd be best for him. I look at center backs at Inter like maybe a Bisek, like that kind of center back. Those are the kind of guys I'll be looking at. Obviously, yes, Vini Jr can improve. I'm not saying it's definitely never gonna happen, but from a scouting perspective, I personally think long term he'd be the central center back, which is no issue because United don't currently have a central center back for the future. The best one we have right now is Harry Maguire, and he is definitely not the long term future of Manchester United. So that is something United can improve absolutely. So I think that's definitely someone we'll be looking at. Left center back, we basically just need a taller version of Lisandro Martinez. Obviously, probably not going to be as good on the ball, but still good on the ball and good defending. Saliba was definitely good at 19. I don't know what you're capping about. Not going to happen, but I like him. I think, obviously, he's at City now, but Josko Guardiola was fantastic. Again, another expensive center back. Lukeba from Leipzig is another one. Obviously, the Leipzig Ponzi scheme always does trick people, but yeah, Schlotterbeck. I worry about Schlotterbeck's defending in the Premier League personally, but he's really, really good on the ball. He's really, really good on the ball. I refuse to let any link that has me with Joao Felix. I refuse. Like, I wouldn't trade anyone for Joao Felix. Like, honestly, I might not even trade Victor Lindelof for Joao Felix. That's how much I don't like Joao Felix. I think Joao Felix is the biggest false footballer I have ever seen in my life because Diego Simeone has made every single attacker work for him other than Joao Felix. Literally every single one. Every single one. Except him. That means you're the issue. He's a false footballer. It's okay, bro. It's okay. He's just a false footballer. Ignacio turns like my grandma, so no. And Copy's really solid. I'm not mad at that. Murillo, again, the height maybe a little bit. I think he's more maybe of like a 5-3-2 center back. You see the way that Nuno plays? That's where Murillo would be really, really good. I'm not really about that. But not the worst options, though. Not the worst options. Braithwaite obviously is going to be an option. On the ball, still a little bit of concern, but yeah, man. Or the other option for Amorim is, in terms of the wide center backs, if you get really good fullbacks that are also really good, that are really smart defenders, that are quick and smart. Like Mazraoui, for example, is a really good right center back option because he's really good on the ball and he's really good at reading the game in terms of tackling and stuff like that. And his angles are better at defending from right center back as opposed to wing back. He has more cover next to him. I think maybe that's something that you could look at as well. Yeah, someone like taller fullbacks. Like, for example, like a Ben White, for example, right? Someone like that. So that's something I would look at. That's the thing. That's the other beauty of 3-4-3. There are so many different players you can sign. It opens up like your range, but you also have to get the right player because it can go wrong very quickly. It's a very good formation, but it has very high risk. The reward is sensational, but the risk is also very high because, like I said, it could easily be a 5-4-3, a 5-3, a 5-2-3. There you go. My bad. It could easily be a 5-2-3, and you cannot play a 5-2-3 in the Premier League and get away with it. It's just not going to work. You need to be on the front foot. And you need to be on the front foot because otherwise you're going to get suffocated to death. You need specialists. Yeah, obviously. Well, this is the thing with football in 2024. You need specialists, right? And that's why I mentioned when I mentioned Cherki and stuff like that. Cherki's a low block specialist. Whether he'll break low blocks. That's what I'm talking about. You need specialists. I do think we need a center mid as soon as possible. I think that's a huge priority. I think obviously Mainoo can easily become top in the system, or he can easily become very usable, and that's honestly up to him. He has the capabilities to pass. Obviously, physically will always be the question. Like in terms of Mainoo, like physically he'll always be a little bit struggling. But for example, I've seen some slower midfielders at Inter cook in a midfield. Obviously, a 3-man midfield, and honestly. Yeah, something like this. I like YKK. I haven't really seen you here before, but first of all, amazing Abby and Amad Diallo. See, I like this 3-4-1-2, something like that. Absolutely, Mainoo's a 3-man midfielder. I agree with that. I think Mainoo's a left center mid that's allowed to kind of free roam. I think that'd be the perfect place for Mainoo. He needs to be the guy that has people around him go 1-2, connect the play and stuff like that. He's a connector. Yeah, man. I hope you saw. I like it, man. That's a really, really knowledgeable comment. So yeah, man. I think Mainoo, obviously, there's some short-term concern, but I think long-term he'll be fine. I think he's just a great talent. And my other thing with Amorim is when I talk about adjusting to players. It's you have to get the best out of your best players. Sure, but different strikers. I don't think anything can. Honestly, nothing can save Højlund. I promise you, brother. Lionel Messi can be on your team, and I promise you, Højlund's going to mess up his runs. It's a clip, bro. But yeah, I'm not mad about that. Well, the other thing is, ideally, in the 3-4-3, is that our wing backs are so high and wide that our 2 10s are able to drop deeper into midfield and create that box midfield where you can then gain numerical superiority on the pitch. That is the ultimate goal. But right now, we don't have the wing backs for that, obviously. And then midfield, we don't have the technicians to maintain that. So 6-5 there we go. 10 more. Because I want to go about an hour and a half. Because obviously a lot of people join, so this is probably gonna be an hour. It's probably gonna be about 45-minute show, but obviously a lot of people join, so we gotta give the people what they want, right? At the end of the day, I want to be people's champion, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, I look at it from that aspect, and that's the end goal. But we need better technicians, we need better wing backs, we need center backs that are comfortable stepping up to allow yourself to keep higher up the pitch. And that's where, like, when it comes to physicality and stuff like that, yes, physicality is important, but there's certain positions where technical is more important than physical, and then physical is more important than technical. Like my center backs, for example, we need physical center backs. We need to have guys that are capable of stepping out and being dominant. That's what we need. I clocked the Ligt a long time ago. I got people trying to cook me. I say he's not good enough. I think the Ligt would have been a great center back in the day. In 2025, I don't think he fits the modern game. I think he's very scared on the ball. I think he's too aggressive for his own good because he can't recover, because he doesn't have the athleticism to do that. He's actually pretty quick, to be fair to him, but he's very, very rash. I just don't think so. There's a reason why I said Maguire's the better central center back. De Ligt's a better right center back. De Ligt might even be a better right center back than Lenny Yor right now because his reading of the game is a little bit better. But on the boys, a calamity. Reading of the game, I think Harry Maguire's is better. So, yeah, man. He's a very passionate defender, and that tackle he put in against Southampton on Thursday. Oh, wow. Raw. Got the crowd amped up and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, man. Ugarte fucking hype, bro. I'm tired of Ugarte. I had an apology for him. I'm rescinding my apology. I'm rescinding it. He's great for big games. Against 75% of the teams in the league, you can't play him. You generally can't. He's not great. He does the job. First team all defense, liability on offense. Thoughts on Dorgu. Obviously, I talked about him a little early in the video. Obviously, most of you guys weren't here to peep it. So, we'll recap a little bit. I think Dorgu is a good talent from what I've seen. He's very versatile, which is obviously very solid, which is really good. He can play both right wing back and left wing back. If eventually we have to change to fourth and back, I think he could fit there too. So, yeah, man. Ugarte's like 6 out of 10. Like I mentioned. And also, I can't blame him for the system when this is the system that made him good. So it's not the system. But Ugarte can be a useful squad player, but he can't be a starter. I refuse to believe United can compete with Ugarte in the midfield. I refuse to believe that. I don't think you can compete. I don't think you can compete with a midfielder like that. I generally don't. Unless you really want to be pure transition, which is calm. If you want to be pure transition, then just fucking go for it. But Amorim clearly doesn't want to be a transition manager. He wants to be a guy that controls the game. And I'm sorry, you cannot control a game with Manuel Ugarte in your midfield. You just can't. Yeah, but don't forget, this is in the worst league, so like you get away with a lot of stuff. I just don't. I think he's a solid player. He's better than I expected him to be, but at the end of the day, someone said this on Twitter the other day. For example, if we're to come down right to building the midfield around Mainoo or Ugarte, who I'm picking, I'm picking Kobe Mainoo at the end of the day because you can find plenty of Ugartes. I can find Edison, who I think is a better version of Ugarte right away. Just right there, I can find a better version. I can't find many Kobe Mainoos. You always got to platform your best players. I think Toby Collier has a higher shield than Ugarte too, just based on the fact that Toby Collier can pass off both feet. Just having that ability makes you that much more valuable. Ugarte gets the ball, and he doesn't know how he's scared to pass, bro. He's scared to pass. Sometimes the safe option is great to have. That's good. Take the safe option, but at the end of the day, I need you to be smart. That's it. I don't know about that, but because Ben Simmons is literally like the best passer, one of the best passers. But anyway, big up Liam. He's Conte with any fairs. I think Conte had a better reading of the game. I think Ugarte sometimes is too rash for his own good, and then he gets cooked, and then all our shape is gone. It's just simple. But he's a solid player. He's not special. Yeah, bro. First of all, Tony Allen, bro. First team all defense. Thank you, man. Thank you. No Shannon shit, bro. Give it up. yes, I think Nasu is good. Again, you know, I talk about physical in terms of that. I don't think he has the physicality to play left center back in the Premier League. I genuinely don't. The way that Amorim wants to play and how much 1v1 defending the center backs has to do, I'm sorry, this ain't the Portuguese league. You go up against top wingers in this league, bro. Like Sulemana plays for the worst team in the league. Brother's a great dribbler. See what I'm talking about? Ipswich have Jack Clark and Omari Hutchinson. Now they got Enciso. Like, a lot of these teams have quick wingers and stuff like that. Like, bro. Also, never buy center backs from the Portuguese league. That's another thing. Been a while. Glad you got a channel now. So appreciate it, bro. Ederson is much better than Ugarte. Anyway, and shout here, McKenna Nation. We will survive. We will survive. But yeah, how many likes are we at, by the way? I think Gould, however you pronounce it. I don't care about defending. My wingback's job is to attack. That's the thing. Thank you. My wingback's job is to attack. It's generally to attack. I don't care about defending right now for my wingbacks. I want them to be really good on the final third. Because we cannot create attacks. We are one of the worst attacking teams, and we have been. I think we might be the worst attacking team in the league since Amorim joined. His system is so rigid in terms of defending in the midfield and stuff like that. The attack suffers from it, and this is where with Amorim you're gonna have to find supreme talents in the attack. It's the same with Tuchel. I always said this about Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel was a great coach in terms of coaching his midfield and his defense. But in the attack, to ultimately make his system work, he needed great attackers. Because the XG numbers were always high and stuff like that, but he needed great attackers to really fulfill his plan. And you look at his Dortmund days, he had Mkhitaryan, who was running like Pac back then. He had a Bombing, he had a Marco Reus, he had Shinji Kagawa, he had Ousmane Dembele, first season when he was sensational. You have that. At PSG, obviously, he had Mbappe, Neymar, and Di Maria. Elite. Then Chelsea, yes, he was able to win the Champions League and stuff like that because his attackers were clutch in sense. But you always thought Chelsea have great attacking numbers in terms of stats, but the goals were not there. It was very struggling attack. Defenders always got the most goals and stuff like that, right? Because he didn't have a great attack. At Bayern Munich, Bayern's numbers were actually better than Leverkusen's last year. But realistically, the attackers was basically just Musiala and Harry Kane. He didn't have really any more great attackers. We need solution makers. We need guys that are geniuses in the attack. And it starts from wing back by having guys high and wide that are really good in the final third. For example, Gould's right. Marcus Alonso, Victor Moses. They're not the greatest of wing backs. They're not the greatest of defenders, but attacking-wise, Marcus Alonso might be one of the greatest attacking wing backs in the modern day. You need guys like that. And your 10s, right now, we're playing more with wingers as our 10th. Even though I think Almack is considered a 10 in my opinion. I think he's comfortable playing between the lines. But ultimately, I don't know which way he wants to go. I personally would still have kind of 110 that's kind of like a winger. Unless, again, it's Cherki. But you need guys like Cherki against low blocks. You just do. Your striker, ultimately, he's going to have, I think he kind of wants the gunman kind of route. The guy that plays on the shoulder of the center back, runs in behind, that kind of stuff, kind of creates his own opportunities through his movement and stuff like that. Which is why I think Osimhen, because Osimhen is such a menace, he kind of creates his own opportunities just through his movement, just through his, what's it called? Not uncharacteristic, unorthodox kind of movement, style, and stuff like that. He's just a menace. You need that, bro. If you're going to play with wingbacks, you need elite attacking wingback. I don't give a shit about defending, bro. I really don't. He could, but he doesn't exist. So it is what it is. He's a figment of my imagination. So what can I do? But yeah, man, I think it's very rigid. It's stuff like that. I think I would like the system to be a little bit more fluid. I think that's something he needs to fix. I think we just look so stale. And I know we don't have the best of squads, but I've seen worse attacks put up better numbers and stuff like that. There's no excuse, bro. He needs to. I know the squad is shit. But in terms of Amorim, I need you to get just a little bit more of the squad out of the squad. It just needs to happen, bro. I'm not asking you to turn these guys into geniuses overnight, but at the end of the day, you're the coach, and your responsibility is to get the best out of your squad. That's what a coach does. That generally, that's what a coach does. That's how it goes. You have to create a solution to help your team, and then you improve day by day when you train and stuff like that. That's when you get your idea across and stuff like that. But when you go out on the pitch every single day, when you go into a match, the ambition is to win. And the way we've been set up, the way we've been playing over the past couple games, that was not a team that went out there to win. That looked like a team like 11 individuals that look lost. That's not good. So, maybe some of them obviously clearly aren't understanding the system because they don't have the mental capacity to understand the system. That's fine. That's why they're leaving. But he also needs to clock which players are really going to fit the system and stuff like that. Which ones can stay but are not going to be mainstays, like in terms of being majority, like starters and stuff like that, not going to be crucial. It's how it goes. And of course, like I always say, you adjust to your best players. That's how it goes. In my opinion, you always have to adjust to your best players. Yeah, our build-up is shocking. I think that's another big concern I've had. I have concerns with the build-up. I think we keep inverting the center back into midfield. It's just for no reason. Yeah, man, I generally do. I think that's the issue. I think Mazraoui needs to go back to right center back. I think our best build-up phase under Amorim was when Mazraoui was at center back. It just needs to happen. I know the wing back's an issue and stuff like that, and I know he doesn't want to put Almar back at right wing back because then the front three just is so fucking stale. He's gonna have to find solutions, man. He's gonna, and this is why I talk about with Amorim, like, you need to be more brave. This is the time to be brave. I know no matter what the fan base is gonna. If you lose, right? The fan base is going to cook you no matter what. I'd rather you lose at this current stage with you being more brave and dying on your own sword than playing like a pussy. That's how I feel. We're losing playing a 5-4-1. We're losing playing with the 5 at the back, bro. So play with the 3 at the back. If we lose, that's fine. Well, it's not fine, but at least I can say, bro, you went for it. You obviously don't have the personnel, stuff like that, but you were brave. This is the time to be brave. This is the time to be experimenting. Enough of the freaking 5 at the back, bro. It's so bad. Against Southampton, Amar was basically playing next to the center back. That's inexcusable. You're going to have to find ways out. Dibley's another good shout. I think Tyler Dibley's a really good shout. I think he's injured now, which is unfortunate for him. But I think he's another good shout. But again, with a lot of competition for him, right? That's the other thing with United. This is the other bad thing about United. We're really bad at the worst time. Because at least like 5 years ago, if we were shit, the young talents around football were really mid. But this new generation is so freaking talented that it's the worst time to be really bad. Because a lot of these guys are going to want to go to other teams that offer them better opportunities. And at the end of the day, United do have a reputation for being career killer right now. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. And the only way to change that reputation is by actually doing something about it. Hoyland's going to be a red flag, but honestly, it's not all United's fault. But yeah, man. Antony should have started more at wing back. Yeah, I agree. I think Antony, as much as I don't like him, and to see him leave is a blessing. But yeah, man. Not a United fan, but watching the last game after you guys went down, had to push up the line. It's how it goes, man. It is what it is. He has to fix some stuff. He needs to tweak and something. Like I said, adaptability. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking at Amorim right now for. That's my main like thing I'm judging him on. How are you adapting? Because I'll say this: if you only play one way in the Premier League and you don't adapt, you're not gonna last very long here. You need to adapt. You need to be flexible. That's how it goes. Flexible, but keep the same principles. And yes, I know you don't have the squad that can really comprehend that much information and stuff like that, but it's just how it goes. So, yeah, man. Where do you think Hoyland ends up next season? I don't know. Hopefully not my football club. That's all I can say. No disrespect to the kid, but I just don't think he's built for it. And I've always said this. I've been consistent with this take. Striker is no position I don't buy young in. You just don't. Unless the guy's like young and ready-made and proven product, like Erling Haaland, for example, you don't. It's not worth the risk. It's just we're not just a club. We're not a club meant for young strikers. We've only signed 2 young strikers that I can really remember that were meant to be starters. Wayne Rooney, who is a generational talent, and Martial, who was not a generational talent, but was very highly thought of, and was we had to put a Ballon d'Or in clause for a reason. Let's just say that, right? Hoyland was not that, and that's why United needs to go. That's why United need to sign a better striker. And no disrespect to Joshua Zirkzee, I think Joshua Zirkzee is a solid player, but United should have fixed their mistake from Solanke, from Hoyland, and went and got a more ready, proven striker, and just have Hoyland be the backup. So, yeah. No, Martial was a striker when he got signed. He was signed to play the number 9. There's a reason why he got given the number 9. Then Jose moved him to inside forward, but yeah. Yep, I agree. You only sign a young striker if you have a proven guy that's ready to shoulder the burden. That's how it goes, bro. Yeah, that's about it. We hit an hour 30. Appreciate Hassam and Saeed for the raid. There's still about 300 of you in here. Let me go check how much likes we're at. We're at 66. Not the best. It is what it is. We did gain about 10 something subs, like 20 something subs though. So I appreciate that aspect. But yeah. I'll catch you guys later. Hopefully you guys tune in for more videos and stuff like that. I appreciate all the new subs. I appreciate the comments. Gula, you've been popping in the chat. Steven, Rohan earlier, Soto Mayor. Who else we got? We got Billy G, GI, Wyrold, YKK. Shout out Liam as well. Alchemist. Yeah, all you guys. Shout out to you guys, bro. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch out sometime probably later this week. United actually playing a couple of days against Rangers. And yeah, appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Enjoy your night. Stay blessed.